everybody. Welcome back to Arsenal X, the Xbox podcast here on the Boss Rush Network. I'm your host, Corey Derrick, and alongside me, as always, is the wise Wisconsinite himself, Mr. Jesse Douglas.
How's it going, everyone?
Also joining us is the joy of the EXP cast, the Extra Life man, busting out some Mega Man 11 last night when I turned it on. Stoy Jovic.
How's it going? I still kind of crack up, but it's like the joy of it. Like I'm some like happy-go-lucky, dude that's just like, hey man, you guys should just like play video games and have fun and just like love life and hug yourself and stuff. Like that's what you make me sound like, Corey.
Wow,
That's what you make me sound like.
Am I lying?
No, I'm always like bitter and and angry all the time.
No, you're not. You're just secretly a big bundle of fun.
I guess I'm just a big old teddy bear behind this rough, gruff exterior.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your facial hair is not fooling anybody there, Stoy. Okay.
All my patches, not fooling anybody.
The video game guru.
Yeah, that's it.
That's it.
Yeah, I did I did a really shitty stream yesterday where it was just like that. Like I had no one. It was So we did Extra Life this year, and our team goal this year was $3,000. And I usually do it with my friends and family and stuff like that. And we usually get together at my house. And this past year, we didn't really do it with that many people, just because a lot of people are finicky about getting together in large groups, especially for 24 hours. So a smaller group, smaller proceeds raised and stuff like that. So, but yeah, we at the end of the day we raised like $2,850. So we were like $150 short of our team goal. So I was like, it'd be really cool if like I just did a last end of the year stream. So that's what yesterday was, December 18th for those keeping score, and I actually hit that goal on Friday. Like a buddy of mine was just like, "Hey man, here you go. Here's the difference." So I was like, "Oh, that's really cool. Thanks." So like I didn't really need the stream, but I still wanted to anyway because I had planned for it. So like yeah, it's hard like starting out to be a streamer these days, man. Like if that's what you wanted to do, there's going to be a lot of days where no one's watching.
Yeah.
A lot of days where no one's watching.
Yeah,
and
that's something I learned like a while ago. Is like if you're gonna start streaming and nobody shows up, you're gonna have to learn how to like talk to yourself.
Yeah,
just to
much.
Like get the practice,
Yeah, and I hate doing that because you get a certain portion of people that tune in for the stream that want to have a little bit of personality of the person that's playing the games, or maybe they just tune in because they just want to see you play the game. There's times I'll like pop in a stream and I'll just like, I just want to see how this game plays, and I'll watch the stream. I could give two shits who's the one doing the streaming, but I know I'm definitely not the majority. So
yeah, I usually just end up like when I've done it because like you've really got to whore yourself out and the social media to really get any kind of following going stream wise. And so yeah, like I obviously I didn't don't don't do that because I barely use social media as it is, but
right, yeah.
So,
I mean, social media is kind of a soapbox for people that just love to talk about themselves and talk about things that they like, which I have never been a fan of. I'm never one to tout myself at all. But I always liken it to, and I really started thinking about this because I was like thinking like every time I stream, when I do, I always think to myself, like, is this something I could do? Like maybe if I take my podcast, the EXP cast into like streaming territory where maybe we stream once a month or maybe we stream a couple times a week and stuff and whatever. And then I'm like, I don't know, that's just like a lot of prep work, a lot of work for almost nothing. But to become a successful streamer, and I know a lot of people may disagree with me, it's going to take a lot of luck. And the way I view luck is luck is, and you can quote me on this. I heard this somewhere, but luck is where preparation meets opportunity. So there's going to be an opportunity that comes by that all of a sudden, like, hey, this is the point right here where all of a sudden 5 people jump into your chat spontaneously out of nowhere. You may get raided, or maybe one of your friends, like, all of a sudden tells 5 or 6 other people to jump into your chat. Now all of a sudden you got like 5 people in chat. If you're prepared for that opportunity, because you've practiced, you've honed your craft at that time for no one, then those 5 people are going to be like, hey, all right, this is a channel I want to follow. And then it spirals down from there. There's going to be days where, you're going to stream for nobody for weeks, for months, and you have to say to yourself, okay, is this something that I really want to dedicate my time to and I really want to do? And like I said, you're going to get you have to get lucky. That's kind of what it comes down to. But like I said, luck is where that prep work, that stuff that you've been practicing over and over and over again, that when the opportunity falls into your lap, you're ready for it and you take advantage of it. So by no means am I a successful streamer. I'm actually a very terrible streamer. I had literally 0 traffic there. I think the only person that interacted with me in the chat was Josh. Josh popped in from the XP cast to kind of talk some shit with us, but I literally got no chat interaction. I got no donations from my stream. So literally, I played 12 hours on YouTube. I played 12 hours of video games on YouTube for literally nothing. But I had fun.
Yeah, that's the thing. Is at least I was gonna say, at least you're hopefully playing something you actually wanted to, because then it's just then it's technically it's no different than if you were just playing. But you just we're streaming it, the one thing I've basically done, anytime I stream something, I know that usually no one's gonna watch it, or maybe occasionally I have had where one person pops in or something, just randomly. But I just basically end up commentating on what's going on in the game or whatever, to keep some kind of, and just joke about what's going on or whatever. That's really all that's been how I've dealt with that. But I never really planned on doing that is as a thing. Really, it's just something I do occasionally if I feel like hey, I wouldn't mind having a stream of this or this game. I know I could be kind of be entertaining while I'm playing it if I wanted to. But
because
it's difficult.
When you think about it, how many people are starting their Twitch channels or their YouTube channels playing Halo Infinite right now? There's probably thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of people that are just starting their channels to be like, hey, I want to play Halo Infinite and I want to be a successful streamer with this game because everyone's watching this game. Well, okay, with those hundreds of thousands of channels, what makes yours stand out over every other one? And you really have to kind of make yourself, be interesting.
And I actually had a guy that started following me a long time ago. He said he didn't really go on the services that much anymore, but he just happened to, he was on the one day that I decided to play and you had talked about this game recently, but it's the Battlefield game where it's the cops and robbers basically.
Oh yeah, Battlefield Hardline.
Yeah, Hardline. And I absolutely loved that game. I was one of the few that was like, yes, finally they actually changed the game up and did something different. And so many people hated that game, but I loved it for that.
I honestly loved it too. Yeah. I mean, it was Visceral Games. They make good stuff in general. So I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, so I was streaming that one day, and he's like, "Holy crap, I love this game!" In the chat, he's like,
"Yeah,
I can't," and this was years and years later after this game had been out for such a long time, and he's like, "Oh, I haven't seen this game in a long time." It's like it brings back memories, and and so playing some of those obscure older stuff sometimes too can bring people in, because they'll just be like, holy crap, someone's playing this game, like I'm gonna check this out, it's kind of thing. So yeah, sometimes it actually benefits you to not play what everyone else is playing at the time.
Yeah, I mean, type in Fortnite in the Twitch search bar, how many channels will pop up? Type in Halo Infinite, type in Battlefield 2042, how many hits will you get? Type in Battlefield Hardline, and you may get 3. So
yeah, if even that.
Yeah. So I mean, like I said, like at the end of the day, my stream was a total utter failure. Like it didn't pan out the way I wanted it to, but I got to sit down and play some games, which I'll talk about later, and I had a good time. And I mean, I got to sit down and play games for 12 hours straight, and that was fun. So, but being a streamer, like everything I've heard about it, it's almost like a full-time job. You got to put the grind in.
Yep.
And the opportunity is going to fall into your lap, and at some point, so you got to be ready when that opportunity happens. Otherwise, it's just gonna slip right by you. So I remember I got raided once, and our EXP Cast channel gained like 5 or 6 subscribers at that point, and I remember like freaking out. It's like, oh my god, I got like 12 people just entered my chat right now. And that's a really kind of cool feature that Twitch had. I remember I was streaming Silent Hill 2 because it was Spoopy Games month, and we were doing Spoopy Game streams that whole month, and I did Silent Hill 2, and I got rated. That was cool, but is that going to happen every day? No. But
that's where people who have like a decent following, can really pay it forward. A lot of times that's what you see is these like people that have a decent following. They might have like 100 people watching their stream at that point. Well, then just send that 100 people on someone, and and just like be like, oh, here you go. And some people may follow that person or stick with watching them, and some might not. But I mean, it's still a cool thing that Twitch has.
That's
streaming. That's why I podcast, guys, because it's easier. I mean, to be fair, like I think content creators have strengths and weaknesses, right? Like like we've had streamers on a plethora of our shows before, and they like aren't podcasters, right? They don't like to podcast. They like interacting with the chat and being by themselves while interacting with the chat. And like everybody has their strengths, everybody has their weaknesses. Like YouTubers like to edit and cut and shoot and reshoot and make small videos, and that's great. And I have been trying to do that as well for us in the future. I'm cutting a Halo Infinite review video mostly because I want to see if I can do it and if it turns out well or not. But everybody has their own strengths, and I don't know. I feel like Stoy has the personality that streamers would like. People like Stoy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But it is, like you said though, Stoy, like you have to basically dedicate that to being like your job. Like that is something that like I'm going to wake up and I am going to eat, breathe, and sleep my stream, and I'm going to have to understand that I am going to be throwing stuff on all my social medias, like every 15 minutes today, or whatever. Obviously there's a lot of tech that you can buy that can help make that easier to do.
And see that's everything I've heard. That's everything I heard that's kind of wrong, is that you put too much stock in tech and not enough in what really matters. You could buy a 4K camera. You could buy a really nice Blue Yeti microphone or whatever the hell I have. I have like a mixing board and a microphone boom arm and stuff like that. But this doesn't make me a better podcaster. So what matters is, the personality that you convey, and if people jump into your chat, are they going to get an interesting interaction with them?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Because I don't personally don't watch a whole lot of streams and stuff like that. But there are a few people that either, we've dealt, had, work with us on stuff in the past, or I've just come across like interesting people that that stream, that kind of have like a personality or interest that I'm interested in as well. So yeah, I do watch some people, but it's very, very rare that I watch people on Twitch.
It's interesting because a lot of times I find it boring.
Yeah.
Admittedly, if I were to watch a stream, I want to watch someone playing the game. I don't want to interact with that person.
Yeah.
In many cases, I don't want to, it's just not something that I really want to do. Like, I just want to see someone playing a particular game. Or if I'm like, hey, I kind of was thinking about a certain game, let me see if someone on Twitch is streaming it, So I don't necessarily interact most of the time with that, but I understand that, like I said, I'm the minority, the very small minority of people, but a lot of people like streaming because of the community that comes with it. But obviously that's what requires a whole nother topic and a whole nother day is the toxic community as well, of just like you're going to have the good side of it, but you're going to have the bad side of it, and you got to be prepared for both. You can't stop the bad side of that. It's going to come. There's going to be people that are going to shit on your stream because they don't like the game that you're playing, or they think your personality sucks. And with putting yourself out there, you have to be prepared for that kind of feedback. So, speaking from experience.
Yeah.
Ooh.
But it is what it is. I mean, that's how it is. Just we talked about that with social media, how people like to pump up their egos on social media and then get all pissy when someone comes in and says, well, I don't like your, well, this person doesn't like my attitude, or, you go on and say, oh, I don't like your attitude, so go F off, like.
Yeah. Yeah, and I've noticed like some of the like there's one Twitch stream I watch. Her name is Ariel, and it's Ariel Jade, and she's one of the the few that I've just kind of run into, and she likes to dress up like Harley Quinn and stuff. She's like does a lot of like dress up stuff, and I think she's into like some kind of modeling agency, but she also is amazing singer. She like all these things, so it's like she like when you have multiple talents like that, like it's like you have more to offer. I can see where that that also really helps in the long run. She's just talented like in general, and
you don't want to be a one-trick pony.
Yeah, exactly. And and so that's what's cool with her stuff is some days she's playing games, some days she's just talking, some days she's playing music, some days like she's got all different stuff going on, and she likes to usually play like the Dark Souls and all those kind of hardcore games and stuff like that.
To give herself street cred.
Yeah. Well, she's good at a lot of that stuff. One of the funniest though was her playing the God of War that I had sent a clip at one point where she was playing the part where you were having sex or whatever and had to please the I forget which woman or whatever, and it's where you had to like twirl the joystick and push this and like to simulate that whole thing, and she kept on messing up, and then like her chat was like, oh, you're just messing up on purpose so you can see have to do this part again, and it took her forever to finish that part, and it was hilarious.
Who knew that would be the hardest part of the game for her?
Yeah, it was hilarious.
Anyways,
but it's like there's Yeah, there's a lot that goes into all that stuff, and it's definitely something you end up having to make a full-time job pretty much.
Yeah, streaming is remember Mixer, Jesse?
Yeah.
Like, I think the coolest thing they had that wasn't the coolest thing they had was like the co-streaming thing.
Yeah.
Where like you could stream with other people and like they would link your streams together so you'd all have one chat going, and then it really helped you gain followers and stuff.
And I think Twitch has something similar to that, but it's a little bit more
I think Twitch integrated that last year. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's a little bit it's a little bit more, I think, difficult to do, but I think they have finally caught on with that, because that was definitely a game changer of being able to make it where you could have like both streams essentially like on your window, and then you could click on which side of the game you wanted to see or whatever.
Yeah.
It was cool. Yeah.
Well,
Now that we're like a half an hour in.
Yeah. No, we're not that far in. We're like 10 minutes in.
Yeah. No, I'm just...
Nah, we're 21 minutes in. It was close. So before we kind of get into the housekeeping stuff, this is the last show of the year because the holiday break is coming up and we're planning some other things, and we would really like to prep stuff for that. So we're launching Patreon on January 3rd for the Boss Rush Network. So we're going to be wrapping up some loose ends there and making sure everything works and people, get what they pay for, essentially. So this is our last show of the year. All the other shows are off except for the Boss Rush podcast, so you'll still have that to listen to. And EXP Cast, maybe. Are you guys done? Are you guys still recording?
Yeah, we're done for the year.
You're done?
We actually have a bonus episode this Thursday. We had our first... well, it isn't our first. We've had a few developers come forward to us to have us try their games and have us talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
This is the first time that a pornographic video game company approached us.
Oh, God.
To talk about their game.
Wow.
And also send us this. So if you tune into the video chat, you'll see what I just held up to the camera. So that episode is posting on Thursday. Josh and I recorded it where we talked about the game that we played and the inner that went along with it. So that'll be coming this coming week. So this coming Thursday. So it was definitely interesting.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's actually on our Patreon right now. So if you become a patron of EXP Cast, you can actually listen to it right now. But it's going to be available for worldwide. And I'm trying to find a hosting site for the video chat because I played gameplay of this game, and it's obviously not YouTube friendly. So, yeah, we're trying to get approved from Pornhub. So.
Oh, yeah.
If you want to post content on Pornhub, you have to actually get approval. You can't just make a channel and then all of a sudden start posting videos on this channel. They have to actually submit an application, and they have to review your application, and they'll let you know if you've been approved to be a content creator or not.
That's interesting. Yeah, I know there's some people who put their podcasts on there and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. Or whatever, just because it's just another avenue to get the views and.
That's what we decided to do because it started out as a joke. Let's make a Pornhub page, and then all of a sudden it turned to, okay, we just made a Pornhub page. What are we gonna put on it? It's like, okay, I suppose we'll figure something out at some point. So I think this is gonna be our first foray into that. So it's gonna be interesting.
Yeah, yeah, and the radio show I listened to, the one girl on there said that there's like some woman wanted to show how to shave your private parts, and like that's something you can't just put on YouTube, I mean, she was doing it literally to inform and help people learn how to do it properly without injuring yourself or whatever. And yeah, you can't just throw it on YouTube, so she had to put it there.
I mean, you got to do what you got to do.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow.
Anyway,
good times.
Yeah,
good times.
Sorry, that was a detour. But yeah. So
whatever, it's fine.
It'd be like that.
It's the last. Merry Christmas, everybody.
But yeah, ultimately we're on a break till next year. So in January we're gonna get back to the swing of things.
Cool. Well, I'm gonna read the housekeeping now, if it's okay with everybody.
Yeah, fine.
This is Arsenal X, the Xbox podcast here on the Boss Rush Network, where each and every week we get together with our friends from around the internet to talk about Xbox and everything we love about it, including news, new games, Game Pass, and more. Check out Arsenal X live Sunday nights on twitch.tv/Boss Rush Network at 8:30 p.m. Eastern, 7:30 Central, or on podcast services and YouTube on Tuesday mornings. Follow us on social media platforms at Boss Rush Network. Use the hashtag ArsenalX. And you can catch all of our podcast reviews, banter pieces, and more on our website, bossrush.net. Let's jump in to what we've been playing. Stoy, you have an extremely sad list here.
Well, it was kind of like so when I talked about games I've been playing, I mostly played Dragon Age 2 this week. And I there were so many other things that happened this week that I didn't get a big chance to play anything different. But I beat Dragon Age Origins. I jumped right into Dragon Age 2, and that's got the frame rate boost and the HDR, and it looks really good, runs really well. The Dragon Age 2 is more of a linear arcadey style RPG compared to Dragon Age Origins and Dragon Age Inquisition.
Oh, kind of like Mass Effect.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, I would say it was kind of more like that.
Yeah.
You had your hub area, and then you had other areas that you went to. A big complaint a lot of people had with it was a lot of the reused assets, and sometimes you're going to the same place every time to do certain quests. But I think it worked out well with the story and the way they told it. Even though some people could say, well, it was just lazy development, but they wanted content, and the developer said that it was like we weighed, quantity over quality, and we wanted content more so than just like a bunch of places that you only visited once, so to speak. So, and it's got some of the best characters, I think, and some of the best storytelling, I think, in the series. So, I don't mind that. I actually have a soft spot for Dragon Age 2, but it's going really well with that. The Extra Life stream that I was talking about earlier this week, I first started out playing Resident Evil 2 Remake, and I beat that all the way through. It took me about like 3.5 hours, which I was trying to run through it as fast as I could. And actually, no, it was like more closer to 4 hours. But there's people out there speed running this game in an hour. Like I can't fathom that. It took me an hour to get out of the freaking police station, for crying out loud.
An hour?
Yeah, like 59 minutes has been kind of like the going speed run rate. Like I haven't watched it all the way through.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what people are beating this game at. Like
that's
these speed. Yeah, I know. Like I said, it took me like an hour just to get out of the freaking police station. Granted, I was thinking around part of it, but yeah, it's just wild to me. But I tried to go through as quick as I could, and because I wanted to move on to other things, because I ended up playing Mega Man 11, which I never fully beat that game. And my friend Pat, who's also part of the EXP cast, he came over to help me play it, and yeah, we ended up getting through it and beating it, and that's it's not as frustrating as the OG Mega Mans, but it's still fun. Like we had a lot of fun with it. It's a really good game. Solid Mega Man title. And then we moved on to Metroid Dread, which I just started over because I hadn't played Metroid Dread in so long. And guys, let me tell you, the parry mechanic, I did it 3 times. 3 times.
Because I've heard
those Emmys ain't got shit on me. Let me tell you that. I did 2 in a row even. Anyway, if you played Metroid Dread, you know what I'm talking about. So I'm looking at you, Eddie. Like, Eddie, you ain't got nothing on me. I'm the Emmy expert. But it's a good game. It's just one of those things. I still have trouble looking past that game as anything more than just an indie game, because it has that indie level quality. Like, it's a AA game to me. I don't know what you guys think of it, but
I don't know. I like it. I have been trying to.
Don't get me wrong. I love the game. Like, the game is awesome. Like, that's the Metroid game I wanted.
Yeah. To me, it's just like, I feel like if it's not Mario or Zelda, at least, or Mario Kart or something, a lot of, and not that I don't love Nintendo. Sorry, guys. My son is crying in the background. But a lot of Nintendo titles, especially recently, if it's not Zelda or Mario, it just feels like it's not AAA tier, and they don't put
a lot of assets into it.
Yeah, don't get me wrong, this is the Metroid game that I think everybody wanted, and it looks beautiful, it looks great, but like, and this is just a mind thing for me, right? Where like, if it's not like the greatest looking game ever or whatever, it just doesn't feel, I don't know. Because it looks great. Like, I love the way Samus looks. I think the enemy design is cool. I think a lot of it looks great. And, to me, like you said, it's the AA version of what's coming with Metroid Prime 4 to me. And I know that's like a really terrible way to look at it, because there's a lot of AAA 2D games that look amazing and a lot of AAA 3D games that look like crap. Right. Or a lot of indie games that are 3D that, you can tell that they're indie or small developers or whatever. But I don't know. There's just something about Metroid that doesn't feel like the big budget Nintendo title that everybody sees Zelda and Mario as.
Well, yeah. Nintendo knows this. They're very well known to be business minded first. So when you look at all the games that came out this year, Mario and Zelda and Pokemon were the top 3 hits. And that's what they continually churn out year after year. It's some sort of Mario title, some sort of Zelda title, and some sort of Pokemon title.
Talk about a title, though, that never feels AAA is Pokemon.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. But, it's what sells the system and sells the games. So, and I'm not knocking Nintendo. Like, Nintendo's got some of the greatest franchises in video games right now. Like, I am dying for something made, a new Star Fox game. I'm dying for F-Zero. Still, like, since GameCube, I've been looking for 20 years, for crying out loud. We need a new F-Zero game. You cowards. But, them coming out to say, oh, we don't have any good ideas for F-Zero. Fuck off. Okay? Ugh. Don't get me. Now I'm mad. Anyway, I'm the joy of the podcast. I'm sorry. I'm going to be happy. So, yeah, Metroid Dread, I'm having a lot of fun with that. I started over from the beginning, and, it's good. It's so fun to play, and the controls and the movement and everything about it is so tight and so well done. And after playing that, I just finished out the round with Streets of Rage 4. That's always a fun game. Like, I love beat 'em ups, guys. Beat 'em ups are just so, like, Streets of Rage, Takedown, River City Girls. I'm super excited for River City Girls. I'm super stoked for the new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge. Oh my god.
Yes.
You don't even know.
I do know.
So,
Ninja Turtles. Stoy, you have to do Ninja Turtles with me for standard def.
All right, I'm in. Count me in.
Yes.
Dude, can we do the Ninja Rap live?
Yes.
Oh, yes, let's go. Let's go.
Go.
So, are we doing...
I can do the dance. Watch, Jesse.
Wait, hold on. Watch. Are we doing TURTLE Power, or are we doing the Vanilla Ice one?
No, the Vanilla Ice one. That's the only one that matters.
That's not true. The other one matters.
Listen, Vanilla Ice, one of the most talented musicians on this planet, sees 4 Mutant Ninja Turtles break up his concert and like a bunch of other like monsters or whatever. And this dude comes up with a song like that, like in real time, and nails it. That's how amazing of a musician he is. The man is immensely talented to have come up with a ninja rap.
Yeah, it's
like just like that. And it's kind of great because you see the gears turning. You saw the gears turning when all of a sudden, they're getting to the fight in the middle of the concert hall, and he's just like, yeah, like you see it happening, and then you're just like, this man's a lyrical, musical genius. Please, I hope everyone knows I'm being sarcastic.
Go Ninja, go Ninja, go.
Go. I mean, anyway. So I'm in on that.
Yes.
I chalked a lot of time with Horizon Chase Turbo today.
Yes, how was that?
And this game is, if you have fond memories of Outrun, Top Gear, and Chase HQ back in the day, like those old school racing games, this game is for you. Like, this game is right up your alley. If you're more into the modern racing games, you ain't gonna get this game. You ain't gonna get how much fun this game is.
Okay.
But I have fond memories of those types of games, those types of racing games. Like, I was a huge Top Gear fan, and this is a love letter to that types of games of, like, just short, quick laps and crazy fast car racing, and nothing like. I mean, these aren't Forza graphics. Let's just say that this is like basically like dressed up Super Nintendo graphics, and it runs really well, runs really fast, runs really smooth. The colors, everything is like very vibrant and pops very well, and it's like the music is still kind of like that gussied up, chiptune style music from back in the day. They actually remixed, like, if you're into that. If you know a lot of the music from back in the day, they remixed a lot of the songs from, like, Outrun and Top Gear. Like, I recognized some of the songs, and I was like, hell yeah, it's just banging, But yeah, if you have fond memories of those types of games back in the day, this game is for you. Like, play this game, download this game, get in it. Like, this game is awesome. And this game has been out for a couple of years, and I finally just picked it up. And it's just I'm kicking myself that I haven't picked it up yet until like today. Literally, I just chalked a couple hours of it just before recording. So
cool.
That's what I said.
Neat.
Yeah.
Neat. Jesse, what are you playing?
So I early in the week I finished Halo Infinite, and like I liked that a lot. I really dig what they did with the story. I know a lot of people, thought it was pretty weak or whatever, but
screw those guys, Jesse. This is an amazing story.
Yeah. Well, I think it's just the thing is like going into this, when we're told that it's going to be 10 years, of content coming essentially to this, like, I did not expect this to barely go anywhere, with anything. And like, I've heard a lot of people kind of talk about the experience of the story and, how people perceived it and what it meant to them and all that kind of stuff. And I think I kind of sit in the same spot with the people who look at this as essentially them trying to right the wrong of Halo 5, kind of try to get to that story's ending and move forward, to where they can, really just start the new journey with Master Chief and stuff. And so, like, yeah, there's,
don't you think that stifles a lot of the creativity of what could have been? I always liken it too, because I've heard that same thing where people want to, the developers wanted to kind of right the wrongs and make something, to appease a lot of those people that didn't like Halo 5.
Yeah.
So it's like, imagine what they could have made if they'd have just let Halo 5 be Halo 5.
Yeah.
And just make the game that they really wanted to make. instead of just like, we're gonna make this game to appease you plebs.
Yeah, I mean, I think the thing is yeah, there's like I would find it difficult to be in a difficult situation because, like, they still wanted to acknowledge what happened in 5, but at the same time they're kind of introducing new characters. But like, like you get stuck in the situation where, how much do we really want to go into these characters, because they could potentially be with us for the long haul of this journey. And so, because that was another thing, like a lot of people like hated that you kind of, you had a good amount of time with the pilot and stuff like that, but then once he kind of, like, you have that situation where he feels like a loser and he's not, like, he's no good and all that stuff.
Loser.
Yeah, well, once you get to that point, then he's just kind of like the rest of the game. He's just not there. But I do feel like it was like, like we kind of got to the point of where it's like all they wanted to focus on was Master Chief and Cortana, and that journey to kind of to get to that finalization of where that's going to end up, ending, or how it's going to end. And then I think in the future we'll get more backstory and more, of these new characters, like in the actual front of the story and making, bigger decisions and playing bigger parts. But yeah, I think this is such an early part of this new story. Mm-hmm. That they kind of got stuck in a position where they like, do we really have a lot of these characters in here yet, or do we save some of that for the future? And and like now we've heard that there's a lot of chunks of this game that had to be removed and stuff like that.
I think that's par for the course in any game.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of stuff that probably wants to make it to the showroom floor, and then other stuff that's just like, well, we got to cut it for, content reasons or whatever. So
yeah, but at the same time, like I think that's part of this, kind of struggle that they've been having making this is, like you can have a lot of content, but if it doesn't generally mix in with the story you're trying to tell, and it feels kind of wonky and disconnected, then what's the point in just adding more to the game? Like if it doesn't actually play a role in what the story you're trying to tell. And so, like,
just to kind of circle back, are you saying it's not telling the story very well, or?
No, I think it is telling the story well. It's just what we've got so far is just kind of like the beginning of something bigger. And like I said it like that, compared it to the new Dune movie, mm-hmm. where a lot of people said it, like, if you really aren't into the story of Dune, that a lot of people will find that first movie kind of boring because it doesn't have a lot of action in it. Mm-hmm. And this next movie in the storyline is when the action starts. And so that's kind of how I looked at this. Like because the gameplay was so amazing, it, like, in my opinion, it's a great and amazing game. And like, honestly, I think, like right up there with my game of the year. But I don't think that this is, the action-packed part of this story. It was kind of more of the start of it, and not like that action isn't quite there yet. But I think now, moving forward, as we get more story stuff for the Halo Infinite series, we're gonna see more action and more, like harder hitting, storyline and storytelling, and I think that it's valid for the people that maybe didn't feel like it went where they wanted. But I think I was looking at it as a different perspective. I kind of going into it, I knew that this wasn't going to be quite the action-packed thing because it's so early on, and something that they're planning on being 10 years of content. So I don't know. I think I just kind of like held my held back on expecting too much from this game quite yet. So I don't know. And
listen, as a video game player, and I think these past couple of years should have shown you to lower your expectations for everything.
mm-hmm.
You should always temper your expectations in terms of, what you want and what you get are going to be two widely different things. Admittedly, I probably would have liked a bigger campaign for Halo, but we got what we got, and I'm thoroughly enjoying what we got, and that's kind of the bottom line. So,
well, and I think it's worth every second to also acknowledge that I think that though it does feel like outdated, it like at the same time it feels perfect for Halo, the whole open world kind of part that they've added to the game. I think they did a really, really good job with that and making it feel exciting and feel fun to travel through the world and do the things that you have to do. Like like when you do compare it though to other games, it may feel a little outdated, but I think it does what it needed to do, and I don't really know that adding any more to it would really do a whole lot more for it. Like that would just, in my opinion, be putting more time into making the game that we might not have really needed. Like it just wouldn't have really made much of a difference. Like I do think there are some things that I would like to see, like them add as they add content and stuff, like add new things to do, to make you want to go back to these areas that we've already spent a lot of time in and stuff like that. And I'm sure they'll do that, but yeah, like I just overall though, I really think they did a great job with it. I'm genuinely like really happy with how they did this game and how everything turned out, and like I really do enjoy it a lot, and I'm still having fun playing it, going back and finding stuff and all that. Yeah, it's missing some things, the ability to replay missions and stuff like that, but we know that's all coming in time here. But so yeah, I finished that, had a blast. It was, I played it on heroic, so that last battle was pretty difficult at times. But yeah, I'm definitely happy with the ending of it, for me anyways. And then I also yesterday I teamed up with me and David Lasby, teamed up and played a little the Alien Fire Team or whatever game. So we played that a little bit because I hadn't played it yet, and he loves it and he's played it quite a bit, and so he just kind of walked me through everything and like was letting me know how things work and all that while we played, and it was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it. So, but yeah, that's pretty much all I've really been playing this week. I didn't do a whole lot of playing this week, honestly. Been kind of busy, so.
Yeah, I've been really busy trying to get a lot of things wrapped up and working.
Yeah, bro, like my Discord chat has been lighting up all week from you.
Yeah, sorry.
You've been busy.
I have been building a work Discord for us to like, just like the main podcasting people. Not because the other Discord wasn't working. I just think, we want to use that Discord for other purposes, like building the community out. And I needed a space for us to just like, us 10 to 12 people who are on the content. Like, we need a space to just update people on what's going on. Like, here's the editing, here's the, show's been posted, do we need guests? Who wants to be a guest on this or this, and get topic ideas for the new shows and all that. I feel like could get lost in a Discord with, over 100 people in it. So,
well, and honestly, for me, like, it just helps me even use Discord at all, because if we didn't have that in there, honestly, I've been trying to more recently jump into Discord and like try to interact and stuff. A lot of times I go on the EXP section to comment on things, because I'll listen to, a lot of the time shows that I listen to, I like to, I'll listen to it maybe a day later than when it was released or something, and then it's late, but I'm still trying to give my little, piece or interaction with the
I know. I think episode. I wanted to talk to you about the possibility of maybe doing something more with the DC Comics universe with the games. I know you had some thoughts on some certain games that you played, and I was like, oh, it'd be cool to kind of revisit this topic again. So that's a future project. But
sounds like a standard definition project.
Well, there's more to the DC universe of video games than just Batman, which I feel like we did just a bad job of talking about some of the other games. But admittedly, the more notable DC universe games were Batman games. So
yeah.
I mean,
like I was playing Justice League for the Game Boy Advance just last week. I ended up picking up that for the Game Boy Advance on a whim, and I was like, wow, this is actually pretty cool. Like, it's not bad. You can play as Superman, you can play as Wonder Woman.
Well, and I was talking about wanting to play Wolf Among Us because everyone's talked about how great that is, and that's a DC property. So,
dude, yeah, it is so good. Like, it's admittedly it's Telltale's best stuff.
Yeah,
I mean, I think with standard definition you can go so many different ways, right? And it's gonna be more so for those who I guess I haven't really told anybody what's going on yet. So we're launching 3 new shows after the new year that are early access for Patreon. One is After Dark, one is Standard Definition, which is a retro nostalgia podcast that I've been wanting to do for a while, and we actually have a mixed bag of episodes already recorded that are already released, so you can technically find that feed. I think the first round that we tried was we did the original Ninja Turtles movie, we did Men in Black, and we did the Dreamcast. And then we kind of stopped because we kind of ran out of people and time and schedules. And then the other one is Expansion Pass, which is just like if you want to talk about something, you can, and it's a topic. And I don't really know how that's going to fit yet, but Standard Definition and After Dark are really the 2 big ones that we're doing. And there's a lot going on in that chat today. With topics and stuff, but I think we're recording Ghostbusters on Sunday if Jesse's available. Jesse, you better be available for that.
Yeah, I'm hoping I can be, because I love talking about Ghostbusters. I mean,
we know that's the only reason why we're doing Ghostbusters first.
Yeah,
and we're recording it on a weekend so you could be on it.
And I am waiting for that new one to come to video, because the second it does, I'm going to watch it like 3 times in a row, because I loved that new movie.
But that's where we kind of want to house, like, if we want to talk about retro games or favorite movies or shows, or there's a lot of MCU and Disney animated talk going on in there now, and like Indiana Jones. Stoy, you and I are going to do that. So that's going to be fun. So yeah, those are all going to be, they're not going to be behind paywalls. They're just you're going to have early access to those episodes if you want to listen to them. So, but yeah.
Yeah. And speaking of too, like I don't know what day you guys normally record Boss Rush, but I literally, all I have to work is tomorrow next week, and I'm off the whole rest of the year. So I wouldn't mind joining Boss Rush.
Yeah. Wednesday. We record on Wednesdays. Okay. So Austin is this week, but we can pencil you in for next week if you're.
Okay.
Because you set up the rest of the year, so that would be 29th, I think. So. Okay. Cool. Neat. We also record After Dark right after now. So.
Okay.
So yeah. Stoy, we need to get you on After Dark too.
I'm in.
I know you're in. I'm just saying, we gotta get you on the schedule.
Yeah.
Gotta pencil you in.
I'm gonna have to pay attention to the chat a little bit more and kind of see where you guys are at. So
yeah, I mean the thing is like tomorrow we're having a meeting on like what this Discord server is actually for and how to use it.
Like, can I jump in on that, or is that something?
No, everybody in that Discord channel can jump in on it. If you don't want to, you don't have to be there, especially if you're not on like the production side of things.
Right. Yeah.
But it's kind of explaining the server, what our plans with it are, and Patreon stuff.
Yeah, of course.
So I wasn't going to do Patreon stuff tomorrow, but Mark asked, Mark and I were going to record Iron Man tomorrow for standard def, but we're moving it to next Monday because I kind of want to get this Patreon stuff. I thought we had like 3 weeks, but we only have 2 weeks until we launch, so I want to get that conversation out of the way because it's a lot.
Speaking of,
actually, have you played any games this week?
Have I?
I know we kind of went off on a tangent.
No,
here,
that's fine. I think it's important for people to know. You know, we're kind of having this discussion on Boss Rush next week as well. But I played Halo Infinite multiplayer is pretty much all I played this week because I just needed to shoot some stuff after some frustrating things were going on. I played a little bit more of the campaign. I really like the campaign. I would like to pay attention to the campaign, so I'm kind of like penciling in. I have a whole calendar set for next year of like, you're going to sit down and play these games, especially if we're going to bring up stuff for standard def. Like, I kind of want to do one of Halo, you know? Yeah. Also, one of the stretch goals for Patreon is like, I don't know if you guys have been listening to the new Game Informer podcast, their video game chronology podcast or whatever it's called. But where their season 1 was all about Metroid, and they went through each of the mainline games and kind of talked about them. And I thought that was a good idea to maybe steal from them at some point. So
it's not stealing; it's taking inspiration from.
Yeah.
You have to use the right terminology.
Yeah, but
Game Informer doesn't own that.
I know. They are owned by GameStop, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're the reason GameStop gets my $20 a year.
Yeah. Yep. Well, you know what? I thought about that too. I've been thinking about that a lot lately. That I really do miss having physical like gaming magazines. Like,
I miss Electronic Gaming Monthly.
Yeah,
that was my go-to.
And like the Xbox one where you had like the demo discs with it, and you know, like all the like the PlayStation one that came with the discs of all different demos on it, and I miss that. And the cheat code central, is it like where it was just all cheats.
I used to go to a website called Cheat Planet. It would have all these cheat codes, and then like for classic systems, they'd have like Game Genie coding in it and stuff. It was cool.
Yeah, I think it was. I want to say it was the game Game Informer, one of those magazines a long time ago that had is the Need for Speed 2 cheats, and there was like literally 100 different cheats.
Yeah.
Because there was a cheat code for every single asset that they used in that game to make the levels, and you could turn your car into any one of the assets that they used to make those games.
Oh, nice.
So there was like 100 codes. It was insane.
Nice. So I played Halo Infinite. I played some Mario Party on Friday with Stephanie and Austin, which was we're dabbling in like a YouTube style show like once a week, I think, or a stream. I haven't decided which one it is yet. It might just be a stream because editing this thing is stupid. So we decided to play Super Mario Party. And we were like, oh, let's do max turns. It'll be hilarious to watch everybody hate their lives. And like max turns, it said 30 turns. And we're like, okay, 30 turns. And it said approximate play time, 90 minutes. Okay, 90 minutes. Okay, that's probably an okay length for a stream. It'll probably be about a little over that, probably like 2 hours or something. This game took almost 4 hours.
Lord.
I'm like, oh my gosh. I know like Austin was like laughing, and I like kind of wanted to like just say goodbye, and I know Stephanie just wanted to like murder all of us for playing this long. But man, it was Mario Party, man. So like the next time we play Mario Party, we're only going to do like 15 turns, like half of that.
Probably be like 2 years until you need more Mario Party in your life.
Mean, I wanted it to be like Giant Bomb's Mario Party show, where like Dan Reichert was the only one excited to play Mario Party and everybody else hated their lives for like 3 hours. And I was like, okay, that'd be hilarious. That'll be hilarious.
Oh my god!
Because it was my idea to play Mario Party. It was not a good idea. I hated every minute of it.
Yeah. Speaking of, man, I miss the original Giant Bomb like crew kind of thing. Now everyone's kind of split up and doing their own thing, but
I know.
Okay. Yeah, because like those Mario Party and the Hitman series stuff. Oh my god. Mm-hmm. Like some of the funniest like video stuff ever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh well. But yeah, what else did I play? I played something else this week, but I forget what it was. So it must not have been that fun. I did play a little bit of Destiny. I played a little bit of Gears 5's Hive Buster DLC, which I never finished. It's cool. Yeah. I mean, it's like it's fine. It's more Gears, but I'm ready for another main entry in that series. I've been thinking a lot about Gears lately, especially because I know, Jesse, you played some Fireteam Elite with Lasby the other day, which I totally didn't see that tweet because I've been like neck deep in Discord, trying to get everybody to use Discord. But I downloaded it, and I know it's a third-person shooter, and like all I want to do is play Gears now. Like that's all I want to do. I even downloaded all the old ones. I'm like, this is something that's never going to happen, but I'm going to play through them in order.
Yeah, and that Aliens game is so much like Gears. It's a lot of fun, and it's just like one of those games that just feels fun to just shoot stuff and talk and just kind of have fun with it, you know. And you don't have to do too much thinking and stuff. It's fun. Mm-hmm. Like the only reason I was good to go the other day is because I had seen that they had planned to do something Saturday night. Mm-hmm. And I missed that, and I'm like, I wish I could join.
I was obviously streaming, so that's why I didn't join. I saw the messages, and I'm like, I'm streaming. I can't really jump in. And I was playing on my Xbox One, not on my Series X.
Oh, okay.
So. I was My wife and I started watching that Harry Potter trivia thing.
Harry Potter trivia thing. I don't.
Yeah.
Is it like a new?
It was okay.
Beats me.
It was okay. It's called the Tournament of Houses. It's like a 4-episode event celebrating the 20th anniversary of Harry Potter. So.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, that's kind of it for me. I hope to be playing more games in the near future, but it will not be this week or next week. So, yeah. Man, dude, so side tangent. In the chat, every week somebody comments on the evolution of our beards and how it's a natural evolution of beards.
Oh, I need to shave so bad.
Every week in the chat. I just wanted to acknowledge that. This is like the 4th or 5th week in a row.
I'm actually supposed to be. I'm not supposed to have a beard because I work in the operating room at the hospital that I work at. So I'm supposed to be as clean shaven as can be. But incidentally, I'm going to be starting nursing school in a little bit. So I've been kind of just letting it go, and I'm just like, I don't really care because I'm not going to be working as I'm going to school. So it's like, I'm kind of been, letting it happen because they gave you these like big, kind of burqa style beard covers to wear to cover it, and I'm like, I don't want to do that. Those things are hot and itchy, and
but that's exciting though. Are you excited for the
no, absolutely
school?
Not. Absolutely not. I don't like school. I don't want to go back to school. I'm not excited for school at all. I would rather someone just give me an RN degree and just call it a day. Like, here you go. Like, I would love that. I know it wouldn't do me any good, but let's just say I'm excited for the next chapter of my life.
Yeah.
How about that?
Yeah, that's kind of more of what I was getting at, because like the idea of going back to school.
I don't mean to be a dick, but like a lot of people have been like, "Oh, are you excited to go back to school?" I'm like, "Hell no, I don't want to go back to school." I was trying to delay this inevitability for years. If I really enjoyed school, I would have gone to school years ago for my RN. But I've been delaying it this whole time, and I'm like, I guess now's kind of the time to do it. So.
Yeah, I mean, because like, I never enjoyed school. Period. I hated it. I was so glad I was done with high school to be done with it for the rest of my life. To be honest.
Yeah, no kidding. And this is like the 3rd time I'm going for some sort of education after high school.
Yeah,
not a fan. But I mean, whatever. Like I said, it's the next phase of my life. In and out in 2 years, and call it a day.
Yeah, and it definitely opens you up to a lot of different options. So
that's the idea, because in my line of work, I'm stuck. That's the only job I can do. It's a very highly specialized skill, and it's not something that I can take that skill into a different role. It's like basically this is like I'm shoehorned in this particular role. I'm a surgical tech, so I'm assisting in surgery at the field. So it's not like I can go take that skill and go work in a different department in the hospital. Like, I can only work in the operating room, and I can only do that particular task. So if I was, like, that's one of the benefits of having like an RN license, a nursing license, because like, well, okay, I can go work at a different floor. I can work at a different unit. I can work in education. I can work in research. I can work in administration. I can work in IT if I wanted to, so it's the world's your oyster in that sense. So for anybody listening that wants career advice, especially since nurses are leaving hospitals in droves because they don't like these COVID vaccine mandates, and so there's going to be a lot of job openings coming up soon.
Yeah,
it's very true.
And I mean, nursing just always needs people, even without COVID.
Always.
Honestly,
always, yeah. So anyway,
it's fair.
It's enough about me.
All right. Well,
what's
actually
next?
It's not.
What's
it's
next,
not.
Corey?
It's not over yet.
It's not
over yet. Well, okay, we'll get to that. We'll get to that story later. So, okay, so some of the biggest news is that Xbox Game Studios in particular has been cleaning up Game of the Year awards from many outlets. A variety of games are winning Game of the Year awards, which is very cool. Halo Infinite won at Game Informer. Forza Horizon 5 won at IGN. Deathloop, which, PlayStation exclusive, but coming to Xbox this year, or in 2022, won from GameSpot. And Psychonauts 2 won at the Golden Joysticks. So Xbox is cleaning up some trophies here.
Psychonauts is actually surprising to me because I it's one of those things, like, even like when It Takes Two won Game of the Year, like, it's not something I anticipated, So it's good to see Psychonauts 2 getting its due.
Yeah, I'm glad it is. I mean, Double Fine has been really scrounging the couch cushions for money to finish their games, and then when they were purchased by Microsoft, I felt like they could breathe a little bit, and it's nice
Tim
to see.
Tim Schafer was like, "Yeah, we'll take that Microsoft money."
Yeah, I mean,
that was my Tim Schafer dance.
Hey, Microsoft, when Major Nelson retires,
Corey, are you looking at my Tim Schafer dance?
I am. It's
what do you think of my Tim Schafer dance?
It just looks like you're.
If I was Tim Schafer, this is how I would dance.
It looks like you're using that device that you showed us at the top of the stream.
Maybe I am. I'm not. I'm really not.
Maybe he is.
It's still in the box over there.
Yeah.
Oh, so you're doing it old school way, huh? So, no hands.
Yeah, no hands, Mom.
No hands.
Look, no hands, Mom.
Mom, what are you doing here? What are you doing here, stepmom?
Well, I guess you'll be approved by Pornhub soon enough.
I've been refreshing my email minute by minute, waiting for that approval email.
So yeah, that's cool. I like Psychonauts 2 a lot. I didn't finish it like every other game I played this year, but it's something I would like to get back to.
Yeah, I forgot. I actually forgot. I did play a little bit of that as well this week.
Yeah,
I forgot because I jumped back into it.
I wish I had more time to play and finish games. I wish I would stop creating work for myself.
I wish that friggin' Assassin's Creed would just shut up. I mean, that's a news topic that we'll talk about later, but yeah.
Oh, yeah. I'm actually excited for the Odyssey one. I actually reinstalled Odyssey because I have another game I put 50 hours into and never finished. Anyways, congratulations, Xbox Game Studios, for winning all these Game of the Year awards. Very proud to be an Xbox owner right now. Finally, the games are coming, finally. Not that, Battletoads last year wasn't,
Dude, I love Battletoads.
Yeah.
I love that game so much. That was such a pleasant surprise. Like, it was everything I wanted in a Battletoads game. Man, thanks for bringing up that fond memory.
You're welcome. That's what I'm here for, Stoy.
Oh, man, that was such a good game.
I like to give you fond... Never
what?
Mind.
Stepdad, get off of me.
What we're talking about now? Oh, Halo Infinite finally got their playlists that people wanted. Very excited. I have
Bitch enough on Twitter and they will come.
Yeah. Halo Infinite's multiplayer has dropped their Slayer, Social Slayer, Free for All Slayer, Tactical Slayer, and Fiesta playlists. I gotta tell you, man. So Tactical Slayer is the renamed SWAT mode, which I don't know. People are either very excited that they took the police element out of it, or the very angry. Depends on which side of the line you fall on. But anyways, Tactical Slayer, as it's now known, is very fun. Battle rifles and pistols only. Take them out. No HUD. Headshots. It's awesome.
Yeah.
That's true hardcore.
Love Tactical Slayer.
Yeah. Yeah, because whenever I played Call of Duty, I was strictly hardcore play game things only. So, instant kills if you get a headshot, stuff like that. So yeah, like that's kind of where that started, was from Halo.
Right.
Like I just loved playing that. So then when they, they had the hardcore mode and all the Call of Duty games, I would always play hardcore only.
Yeah.
I don't need to screw around with the shooting people in the head and them still getting away, surviving crap. I wanna shoot people in the head and they die right instantly. Like not, because it's so annoying sometimes when you'd be shooting and shooting and shooting at people and they would just keep evading. You being able to finish them off, or someone else would come along and finish them off for you, and it's just like, come on,
Right.
all those bullets I wasted.
Yeah, dude, Halo multiplayer is so fun. Stoy, I know you're not a multiplayer guy, but man, Halo.
I may jump in on it. I mean, like I said, I had fond memories of playing multiplayer back in the day, and we'll see how much time I have coming up. So
it definitely feels like Halo 3 evolved, right? Like it definitely feels that way, and it's man, every time I turn it on, it just feels like, man, I don't even want to. I wish they would have released the campaign first, because like every time I play the campaign, I'm like, man, I wish I was just like shooting other guys,
Yeah. But, and Fiesta mode is just pure chaos and fun.
It's chaos.
It's fun.
Fiesta mode is like, chaos, dude. So I jumped into Fiesta the other day, and like I loaded in with a plasma pistol and a regular pistol, and everybody else had gravity hammers and the impaler, the banished impaler weapon, and needlers, and I'm just like, God damn it, just give me a gun that I can use effectively. Although the pistol is very effective in this game.
Yeah, the plasma pistol too is like the plasma pistol. If you fully charge it, you can kill someone in one shot if you land it.
Yeah, but also it's more of like I'm going to charge up, sneak up on you, take your shield down, and then whip out my primary weapon and just take you out. Like that's what the plasma pistol's for.
But you can now actually kill someone if you land it without having to do that. You can actually kill them with a fully charged one shot of a plasma pistol in this one.
Yeah.
Which, you could do in the past, but I feel like they always nerfed it to where they would just be at the lat with like 1% of health left, and then you had to pull something else out to finish them off.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's fun. Yeah, I just love the chaos of randomly spawning with whatever, and you just can't be mad because it's just like, it is what it is. You're just having fun. You're living in the moment, and it's all that like try hard stuff doesn't exist there, because it's just you're not going there to try to be the best. You're just going there to have fun in Fiesta mode, and that's why I love it so much. That was literally the only thing I played in Halo 5 ever.
Yeah. All right, Stoy, this next one's for you, really.
Yay!
Honestly. Although I'm incredibly excited for this as well.
No, I am too. I actually talked to Lore Together, Mystic and Safi, talking about how it'd be cool if Mass Effect was going to be made in Unreal Engine 5, and sure enough, we got it pretty much all but confirmed.
Yeah. Well,
because they're
kind of is confirmed, really, right? Because
because they made a job posting, basically. Talented programmers with Unreal Engine 4 and 5 experience, come join our team and work with us in the next Mass Effect game. If that isn't a confirmation that they're ditching Frostbite and going with Unreal Engine. Yeah. But Frostbite wasn't, it's one of those things. Frostbite wasn't designed to work with games that BioWare make. Like it
wasn't designed for anything other than first-person shooters.
Yeah, exactly. Like even Madden, when Madden moved to Frostbite, like they're having a terrible time with it. Like
I don't want to,
and DICE is like, well, we don't know how to help you, and that was always the problem with these EA studios. Like BioWare had to literally try to make a Dragon Age game out of this freaking mess, and they had to make a freaking Mass Effect game out of that mess. And they did a really good job, all things considering, with both of those games, more so with Dragon Age Inquisition. But Have you guys have played the Matrix Experience, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's funny because I was playing that Matrix Experience, just walking around town, driving around and stuff like that, and I thought, wouldn't it be amazing if Mass Effect was built with this engine? And I think the fact that what's been alluded to a Windows Central article, this game isn't going to be expected to come out till 2024, possibly even later than that, 2025. I mean, they have enough development time to make this an awesome game. And with so many like easy to use tools that Unreal Engine is very well known for, especially Unreal Engine 5, I really think the future, what we're going to start to see new next gen games coming out over the next couple of years, they're going to come out, I think, faster, because Unreal Engine 5 has all the tools that they need, especially for BioWare games. It's going to be dope.
Yeah, the asset store alone.
So excited. So excited.
The asset store alone that they have for the new Unreal Engine, where you can buy like fully HD assets for certain things and like not even have to, spend the time, trying to build that or send out to other people to make those things. Like,
yeah, it has so many different, like, I mean, you can use all these different like Maya and art tools along with the engine itself, even Unreal Engine 4,
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see, because like that Matrix thing was just the beginning of it, and like it's not, they didn't, I feel like they put a good chunk of time into making that, but they didn't put a whole lot of time, it didn't sound like, into making that.
Yeah, which is amazing to think about, because they modeled a whole freaking city and traffic patterns and NPCs walking around and stuff like that to make this city like almost vibrant and almost alive, and it's like, imagine, I mean, I don't know how long it took them to make, but I can't imagine it took them a year. Like, just imagine the tools that Unreal Engine 5 is giving these game developers, and this engine is readily available. Like, you could download it right now. Like,
and you don't have to pay. You don't have to pay fees on it until you make like $1 million off your game or something, right?
Yeah, I think you can. I think there's two different subscription models where you can do that way, or I think you pay like a kind of like a stipend or something like that. I forget how it went, but I mean, I don't know. I've dabbled in Unreal Engine 4, and there's so many tutorials and so many like video and text tutorials to show you how to do things. So there's no trial and error. There's no starting from scratch with Unreal Engine stuff. Like, this is probably the best case scenario for BioWare, and now EA understanding how Frostbite how Frostbite hurt them in the past. And kudos to BioWare for coming. They probably had some say in this, if not all the say in it, to say, listen, we're done with Frostbite. We can't do it anymore. You want us to make a good game? Let us make our game.
Right. So that's exciting. You think Dragon Age will be on this too, or you think they're too far along?
I don't know, because they restarted development like a couple of years ago.
Right.
Where literally, I think in 2018, 2019, they literally started over.
Right.
They had so much development time in, and I think they restarted over because they scrapped everything they worked on before in favor of whatever it is they're working on right now. I would love for it to be an Unreal Engine, but I don't think that's even been confirmed.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I wonder, like, even if it was in Unreal Engine 4, it sounds like it's pretty easy to transfer that over to 5 and then give yourself the new tools to be able to change things and improve them. But yeah.
I think it sounds like it's going to be made in Frostbite.
Yeah. Well,
okay.
Well,
I mean, at least we know they're moving in a new direction after this, right? I mean, I don't know. I still think like Anthem was like great looking game that just
wasn't. Oh, it was amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looked amazing.
And dude, the flight was awesome. But like, I don't know. I hope that Dragon Age is good because like Stoy, you've been talking about Dragon Age 1 and 2. I actually downloaded Inquisition because I had never played Inquisition, so that's also on my list to play as well.
Yeah, honestly, Anthem's failure was just in them not making it like a Halo game where you could play with 4 friends, but it's just a main campaign, and that's it.
It was severely lacking in content. Like, it wanted to be Destiny, but it didn't have a fraction of the content that Destiny had. Like, it was a big, open, vibrant world with nothing in it. That's what hurt it.
I think, I mean, to be fair, Destiny, when it launched, didn't have that much content in it either, but it was also the first of its kind, and Anthem had, 3 or 4 games at that point to copy off of, which, Destiny 2, Division, other games that are like that I don't play.
And that's why I personally was willing to give it a pass and, was waiting for the, them to do the rest of the stuff and finish it. But then when it got canceled, that kind of upset me quite a bit. But I get it though. Like, like if they didn't feel like it was going to make them any kind of difference to try to finish something, you might as well move on and do something else. It's a shame because I personally would have liked to see what came of it. But yeah, like,
same.
Like I said, I gave it a pass and was willing to, because I did play that first Destiny when it first came out, and man, it was a mess. Like I dropped off of it almost instantly, and I unfortunately never got to really experience the first Destiny when they finally did get everything right. But I did, jumped into Destiny 2 and enjoyed, my experience in that for the most part. But yeah.
Anyways, Unreal Engine. That, dude, can we just talk about the Matrix demo for a second?
Yeah.
Sure.
God, it was good. Dude, that was so cool. Like, yeah, I think the most video gaming thing that you saw was the character that you were controlling. And everything else was so, like, the assets they used for Trinity and Neo looked better than the CG in the original movies. Like,
yeah, really.
Oh my god, dude! And they kept like switching between real Keanu and fake Keanu, and it was like really messing with my mind. Like if they're standing side by side, you can clearly tell who's real and who's not. But like the way they kept switching between the footage was like, I don't know what I'm watching now. Did they switch? I can't tell.
It was insane.
No, because it's actually kind of crazy how it worked out that even though it was like a glorified tech demo, they showed what you can do with it and how you can make a great action game and make it look amazing too. Which that's the most true. Honestly, that's the most true next gen game experience that we've had so far with these new systems.
And did you watch Digital Foundry's breakdown of it?
No.
Oh my gosh, dude! They went.
I watched crash footage.
They went into like how the cars are built out of nanite technology until they wreck and then they like switch over instantly. Or like how they built the city and like how everything, this nanite technology, oh my gosh, it was just insane. And like they would do like these drone pans of like these side pannings of rooms inside the buildings and stuff, and it's like they were like super photorealistic rooms. I'm like, I can't even tell. I can only tell because I know how video game cameras move, and this is clearly a video game camera. But like, other than that, like when they were like that first car sequence, like the way the cars were sliding as they were turning was so realistic looking. And like, some of the physics of the cars when they were like rolling over and stuff looked kind of off. But like, oh my god, dude, like, it was insane.
Yeah, or I mean, I don't even know if it really was that they looked off. I mean, it's just that's not an experience of how you see a car react in your day-to-day life.
I mean, there is a video I watched of just a compilation of just crash footage. Where like basically it's just someone driving around town and just getting into various amounts of car wrecks, and that's where you can actually really see the physics in motion of just like what happens when I launch it off this platform, what happens when I T-bone a car, what happens if I get T-boned, what happens if I just spin out of control and start to really roll. Like that's when you really start to see the physics shine in a kind of unpredictable fashion.
Yeah.
I'm really excited for what Unreal Engine 5 is going to bring, not only in Mass Effect, but in, other games. Like Grand Theft Auto, like if they made the new Grand Theft Auto in Unreal Engine, which I know they won't, because Rockstar's got their own engine. But
the Rage engine.
Yeah, but it would be cool to see other like real good like third person action games in this.
Yeah.
Saints Row. Honestly, I was when you're playing that part where you're shooting out the back window and blowing the tires out and stuff. Like I totally could see that being like part of like a Saints Row campaign section, because they always have the over the top like shooting from the helicopters or whatever.
Microsoft. Bring Black back.
Yeah.
You cowards. Get Black from somewhere. Someone's got the IP.
EA owns it.
Call up EA. Say you ain't doing shit with this. Let's take it back. Black 2. Let's go. Unreal Engine 5. Come on.
Remember how good that game looked on the Xbox?
That was like,
and the sounds
blew my mind.
Like if you were wearing headphones, the surround sounds of like even the bullets, you could hear them falling onto the ground, the shells falling onto the ground.
That's why they called it gun porn. No hands.
Black, so good.
Black
was so good. I wonder how it holds up now. It's backwards compatible. I wonder if it holds up.
It's actually holds up pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Maybe I'll
it holds up pretty good.
It up on the old Series
the sound definitely holds up. Like, it actually sounds better than most first-person shooter games now.
Cool.
Yeah, because I think I played it like 2 years ago. At this point, and I remember it holding up pretty well.
Cool.
Still is fun. I'd even just like the last thing I just like was even thinking about just seeing like Wreckfest, like how realistic and good the everything is, the physics and stuff is in that, to just see that like made in the next Unreal Engine 2, like I can't even imagine.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's already so good. But yeah.
Cool. Our next story, speaking of Rockstar, Stoy, Bully 2 is rumored to have some sort of announcement, maybe soon, maybe.
Man, they've been talking about Bully 2 rumors for years. I am not going to hold my breath.
I was one of the few people who really didn't care about the original one anyways. So.
I'm with you on this too. I'm with you on this too. I really didn't care much for it either. Like, it was kind of a cool premise, cool concept, but I was like, Yeah. It's really such a vocal minority of people that really want this game to happen.
Yeah.
I feel like this is a real Mirror's Edge situation where like there's people that say they want it, and then when it comes out, people won't buy it, except for the fact that they can put from the makers of Grand Theft Auto on it and it'll sell.
Yeah. Although the state of emergency, oh man, was that an awful game.
I remember that.
Bring it back.
That or
God.
Just
I traded that game right back 2 days later.
Yep.
I was like, this one's not for me, dog.
Let's be honest. This is going to be this and Manhunt 3 or whatever are just going to be Grand Theft Auto Online updates. They're not real games. They're just updates for online.
Although Manhunt at least is something somewhat interesting of a game.
Mm-hmm.
Like I would enjoy that for sure, but I mean Bully, I don't know. It just didn't do it for me.
Yeah. Supposedly this was supposed to be announced at the Game Awards, and people have seen it and apparently have played it, according to leaker Tom Henderson, who has leaked things before and have come true apparently. So neat. Bully 2 maybe someday down the road. You know what is happening though? Is a Splinter Cell remake from Ubisoft Toronto. This is exciting.
I'm at a there seems to be a new trend where it's like they take dead franchises and then just kind of like, let's just remake the first one.
But I think that for a franchise as storied and as long as Splinter Cell has been, and following the same character since the beginning, I feel like this is an okay move. Especially
it is. Honestly, Splinter Cell is a timeless series.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know there's been some talk or whatever that they might be taking some like Hitman style kind of things for this new, like for this, and kind of trying to do more of like a Hitman, the new Hitman type stuff. But that's all just.
I wonder if this.
I can get behind that.
Yeah, I wonder if this game will you'll play through the campaign, but then you can go back and try to do the missions different ways with different weapons or different options of stealth and. I think that's where Hitman's going to come in. I don't think you're going to be able to throw a briefcase and it's going to follow someone,
Yeah, while they're on a jet ski.
But my thing is, if they're going to be inspired by Hitman, then it's going to be the leaderboards, the scoreboard type thing, and approaching the levels in different ways to get those achievements or whatever. But it's cool. It's being made by Ubisoft Toronto, who did Blacklist, which I think a lot of people who played it liked, but didn't sell very well.
I liked it. I mean, I think the idea of that was the first game without Michael Ironside as the voice. Which, I'm sorry, that's Sam Fisher, man.
Yeah.
Michael
you know
Ironside,
why he didn't do it, though?
He wanted I think Ubisoft wanted to pass the buck on to, I think, a new generation.
No, he had throat cancer and was in the middle of treatment.
Oh, okay.
When they needed the recording done, so he was not able to record.
Because he actually was an advisor. Like, he was a voice advisor to the actor.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, I get it. I get it, but if they're rebooting this with a younger Sam Fisher and Michael Ironside is in his 70s, I don't know. Maybe it is time to pass it on. I don't know. This gets weird because at the same time, I'm get a new voice actor in there, but also if they ever recast Master Chief, Steve Downes is Master Chief, right? So I don't know how I would feel about that.
See, that's the thing. That could be the point where you just start telling a new story.
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess it depends on how you, more than one way to look at it, but
that's where the AI learning comes in, and you start using people's voice digitally and still paying them to do it, but you use their voice.
Family,
use their voice to digitally do it, because I mean that's only getting better and better stuff like that. So
do it. Cool. Splinter Cell coming soon. A last story, speaking of Ubisoft, not really much to say, but Assassin's Creed Valhalla is getting a major expansion that's $40. It's a third of the size of the main game, and it's taking you to a new location. Also, crossover with Assassin's Creed Odyssey, which Odyssey got a free update this week, where Cassandra, assuming you played as Cassandra, because I don't know anybody who played as Alexios.
No one played as Alexios.
Yeah. They gave you a new...
I don't think he was even nominated as a voice actor award in the Game Awards when that game came out.
I don't either.
Or Alexios.
But there's a new quest line in Odyssey where you are on a mission to find some sort of secret treasure that is linked to this new DLC in Valhalla. In the DLC in Valhalla, you actually fight alongside Cassandra. So that's cool. Very, very cool.
Pat was talking to me about it. Pat from my podcast. He actually played it. And it tied up Cassandra's story.
Yeah.
because it kind of left, even with all the Fate of Atlantis DLC and stuff like that came out after Odyssey, it kind of left a lot of open-ended questions. But I think this one kind of ties it up.
Cool.
Nice.
I love Assassin's Creed Odyssey. I did not really care for Valhalla, but also like Odyssey, when you're playing as Cassandra, it feels a lot more fluid and agile, whereas in Valhalla and even Origins, it felt a lot more tanky because it just felt different. And I really miss the feeling of Cassandra. So I don't know. Maybe I'll get back into it, but when I think of these new Assassin's Creed games, I want them to feel like Odyssey, not Origins. And Valhalla felt a lot like Origins. So
yeah, for me, Origins, like I really loved the very beginning of it when you were in those tombs underground. But the second it went into the open world, I was just done with it. I'm like, nah, this doesn't. I kind of want a game that does all this beginning stuff, a Tomb Raider like game, like with exploring and dungeons and stuff like that. But I agree though, that next game did feel much better though. Even in like, I actually enjoyed playing that one. I just didn't have the time to dedicate to it.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I put 50 hours into it and didn't finish any of the story because there's like 3 endings into that game.
Yeah, I got one ending and I was like, that's enough for me.
Yeah. So
that took me like 60 hours.
Every like 2 or 3 months or so, I get the itch to go back and play it, and I'll play for like 3 or 4 hours for that week, and then I'll just put it away.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I
enjoyed Valhalla, actually.
Yeah, I wanted to.
I do want to get back. I do want to get back into it. It's taking up a huge chunk of my memory on my friggin' Series X. So
really, it's
do want to get back.
It's not that big of a file, is it? Is the DLC a big file?
Oh yeah, the DLC that I just downloaded was like almost like 15 to 20 gigs. Oh. Yeah.
Anyways, that's the end of the news. Unless anybody has anything else that I missed or want to talk about, but kind of want to talk about Game Pass, Stoy. So
I do want to give like a special shout out to Game Pass, because Game Pass touts itself as being like a really good, like, hey, we got like a ton of like day one games that have come out, like literally like brand new, like
Outriders,
released,
MLB The Show, all the Microsoft stuff.
Yeah, so like I think this year so far, after Halo just comes out, or I think the Gunk, which we'll talk about, is I think they've released over 54 to 55 games this year alone, day one.
Yeah.
So when you think of, just say what you want about subscription services kind of being almost like the wave of the future now in terms of selling stuff, it's good for the consumer in terms of if this is something that you want to keep continually play new games month to month. At least every month this year there was a day one release, with the exception of maybe I think September or something like that. Didn't really. Oh no, September had a lot, but yeah, pretty much every month there was something that has come out. Like I said, January you had Cyber Shadow, The Medium, Project Winter, and Wreckfest in February. MLB The Show, Outriders in April. The Ascent, that was a really good one in July. I want to get back to that one. Who could forget Dungeons and Dragons Dark Alliance, the technical masterpiece? Sarcasm once again.
No, it was great.
And it was great. It was wonderful. You enjoyed it.
You just didn't appreciate the changes the Dungeon Master made during the game when your character would clip through the world and die.
Or all of a sudden the large hulking enemy that you're fighting against all of a sudden like clipped like 20 frames over and attacks you from behind. That was great. But so I mean, from a money standpoint, from a money making standpoint, I know this is a good investment, not only for Microsoft but for these other developers. that want their games to be well noticed, because there's a lot of AAA games on here, obviously, like Back 4 Blood. That was one. That was day one, and then Forza Horizon 5. But you also got some of the indie ones like Hades. Oh, Hades was kind of day one, but
it was day one for the Xbox release.
Skatebird. Yeah. Skatebird, Flynn, Son of Crimson. So that's really cool. Like, honestly, Game Pass is where it's at. But anyway, I just wanted to talk about that.
Yeah.
So naturally, when we talked about what's coming to Game Pass, all of a sudden, like, Game Pass drops a whole bunch of new shit.
Of course.
As usual.
Side tangent before you continue. Sorry, Stoy. I've been really conscious to not cut you off, trying not to cut you off, because we had a little discussion of like people feeling like they were getting cut off during episodes. But like,
right
to your point here, like I tried to write the Game Pass article on Monday, and then Tuesday they announced a bunch of stuff, and then I went to write it on Wednesday, and then I saw that Thursday they published a bunch of stuff. So I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna start doing this on Thursdays.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know when it's a good time, because like sometimes it's like they'll release it at the beginning of the week, and then all of a or just like the day of, you'll like go to the Game Pass page, and all of a sudden there's a bunch of new shit.
Yeah. Stupid.
So anyway, what came out last week, we obviously knew about Aliens Fireteam coming out on December 14th, but they dropped Ben 10 Power Trip. That's cool. Broken Age, that was another I think the Double Fine game, where it's like a point and click adventure with your boy Elijah Wood. That was it.
Oh yeah.
Firewatch came out on the 16th. That's a really good kind of walking simulator type with a really good story. The Gunk, we talked about that one. That came out last week too. Lake, the Postman or the Postwoman simulator game, that came out on the 16th. Mortal Kombat 11, that's a big one.
Yeah,
that's a big one. And Jesse, you may be interested in this one. Paw Patrol, Mighty Puppy Save Adventure Bay.
It's on my hard drive right now.
Yes, and Corey, we know
it literally is.
Corey, we know, is downloading this right now as we speak. Race with Ryan.
I am. It's gonna be my next 1K achievement game.
So, I had to look up this kid.
No.
A year ago or something like that. Apparently, this kid's got millions and millions of subscribers on the YouTubes. And does this boy know this?
It hurts.
Do you think he knows that how much money his family is making on his behalf?
No.
Oh,
this is child abuse. Anyway, so yeah, this is like Mario Kart with just a bunch of like shitty kid things in it.
Yeah.
Shitty kid things. Yeah, I don't know. Whatever. I was just looking at it. I'm like, I don't know what this is. So, and then you also got this game. I'm trying to Record of Lodoss War, D-Lit in Wonder Labyrinth.
Yeah, it's a Metroidvania. It's apparently amazing.
Okay.
It's based on an anime, on a Japanimation, as the kids say.
I wouldn't have guessed that.
That's what I heard, but I also heard it's like one of the best Metroidvanias of the year that's not called Metroid Dread. So.
Oh, okay. All right, cool. And then Transformers Battlegrounds. That's another one that came out. You guys remember High Moon Studios when they did those Transformers games?
Yes.
Yeah.
Dude. Remember when they re-released them on Xbox One and the ports were trash?
Yeah.
And then they delisted them all.
Yeah.
It's the only reason why I went back and got my 360, because like those games are still playable on 360. They're still available digitally also.
Yep.
Oh.
Yep. Those are the I still hung on to those copies, so I still got them. But it's a sad state of affairs that we'll never get another one from them, because High Moon Studios is now a Call of Duty factory.
Gosh, dude, Fall of Cybertron was so good. The second one?
Yeah,
the second one was awesome.
Mm-hmm.
The first one was good, but the second one was like A tier, like Transformers.
I mean, they took everything that was great in the first one, because when the first one came out, everyone was like, holy crap, this is an amazing was an amazing game.
Mm-hmm.
That was at the time when like every game came out was like a, Gears of War clone.
Mm-hmm. Which
so
this also is.
It was Gears of War clone, but it was still good.
Yeah.
So of course, naturally, by the time you listen to this podcast, they'll probably have dropped like what's coming out the rest of the month.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
Yeah, there'll probably be 5 more games on there.
Honestly, like every time like I read an article that says like Xbox drops another batch of Game Pass games, I get so excited. I'm like,
Yeah.
what are they giving us now?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. It's
Ooh,
Yeah,
Mortal
like-
Kombat 11, I already have that. Ooh, Race with Ryan, yes.
Yeah.
yeah, our like Game Pass in general like is gonna play a big part in my conversation of our topic of the show. So
Yeah.
Side tangent. Speaking of Game Pass, we were just talking about Black. It's on Game Pass.
Yes,
Yeah.
it is. Yeah, I was gonna say I actually just saw it, so you have no reason not to play that.
I want to try something for this show starting in the new year.
Okay.
I think we should all at least try to play one Game Pass game and talk about it for this segment. Maybe.
I actually tried to.
okay.
I tried to do that a few times. It's just the last couple of weeks I've been kind of
busy.
Well,
yeah.
Well, did you get to play Gunk?
Me, no. I
okay.
I have no interest in that.
Because I did. It's like to me it kind of reminds me a lot of like Kenna Bridge of Spirits, where it's kind of like, like but less like attack. Well, like I just got the upgrade for my like hand thing that allows me to shoot like this blast type thing. It's kind of almost similar to like a Mega Man type thing. You can't like charge it up yet, I don't think, but yeah, you just like you kind of shoots like one shot and then but so I haven't gotten too far into it, but I am enjoying it. Like it's very much a chill game. Like it's not a super like having to think kind of game. It's definitely a chill game that you could just like listen to podcasts and stuff while playing. I do like the characters so far and stuff too. Like,
cool.
Like so I'm enjoying it. I think it's a pretty decent game. If you just kind of want to sit back and unwind and kind of just have fun exploring this world, because the world looks really awesome too and stuff. So cool. But yeah, I played a couple hours of it so far. I'll probably stick with it.
Cool.
So I don't think it's very long either.
Well, yeah, that's a good idea. I think maybe jumping on something even from the back catalog. I know, Corey, we gotta sometime this week sit down and play some Operation Raccoon City. So.
I know it's taking up space on my hard drive because Stoy's like, gotta buy it, gotta play some.
Gotta play it. It's an underrated gem, and I know I'm probably one of the only people in the world right now that says that, but I
mean, that's what makes it underrated, right?
Yeah, exactly.
The more people that say it, the less underrated it is. So
yeah.
I also on speaking of older games, like Splinter Cell, I bought the first 2 games because the remake was announced, and I've never played Splinter Cell, so I thought this might be a good opportunity to do that as well. So
yeah, I know I own a couple, or like I think 2 of them. I don't remember which ones.
All right. Well, good job, guys. Good job. We did the first thing, we did the second thing, and now we're going to move on to the third thing, which is the topic of the show. We're going to kind of talk about Xbox's 2021 a little bit in review, kind of just say what we liked, what maybe if they did something terrible, they did something great, they did something in between. How do you guys think Xbox did this year? Kind of a different year for Xbox Game Studios fans.
Corey, we'll start with you.
Oh, wow. Thanks, Stoy. I think that Xbox had a great year. I think that they did a lot of great things. I think their backwards compatibility program got stronger. I think the frame rate boost stuff was a great boon to that program. Adding those last 70 something games to kind of say, hey, we're kind of putting a bow on this project and less licensing things. No Alpha Protocol, no Army of Two, the 40th Day, no Army of Two, the Devil's Cartel.
That's why Xbox gets a D- for me.
Yeah.
No Alpha Protocol.
Yeah. But other than that, like I think that really did a lot for them. I think that Flight Simulator did a lot for kind of teeing off Xbox this summer, at least. Mm-hmm. And then we got Psychonauts 2, which was great. Age of Empires 4, which by all accounts is good, if not great. I haven't heard anything negative about it, except for the fact that it might be a little bit simple compared to 3.
Well, no, admittedly, it's always been one of the better real-time strategy games about, history and conquests and war, like ever since, for the last 20, 25 years. So
yeah,
I ended up throwing up that article that I found about the
I saw
day one Game Passes in the chat. So I don't know if you guys want to follow along or not.
Yeah.
Well, Jesse, you threw a picture of that Xbox in there.
Yeah.
Wait, that's the one you want, or that's the one you want to get rid of?
That's the one I want. Oh. That it was $125 at the local place that I wanted.
That's not terrible for that, by the way.
No. And it came with the blue controller and everything. Yeah. Like this one, like I said, was only $60-some, but it came with a white controller and no hard drive.
The hard drives are expensive. If you don't get it with the console, that's the thing.
Yeah.
So yeah. Anyways, Xbox had just the back half of the year too. In the day one stuff on Game Pass, like Outriders is a game I probably wouldn't have played if it didn't come to Game Pass day one. I'm going to be honest with you. Like I thought it looked great, and maybe I would have picked it up on a sale. But the type of game that it is, it's like if you don't jump on it when the community is playing it, like, are you really playing it? I know they said it's not a Destiny-like, or it's more like a Borderlands-ish type thing where they're going to add expansions to it later, and you can play it by yourself. But like, Outriders is still my game of the year.
It's crazy.
Until I finish Halo, like, unless something drastic changes with Halo, Outriders is my game of the year. It's so good. And like, I wouldn't have gotten to experience it without Game Pass, And, especially like, because at the time I was working a different job and not making a lot of money and trying to play what I could, and Game Pass just really saved my keeping up with games. I think the only games I really spent money on until like really a couple months ago was Metroid Dread and maybe a couple others early on, like Super Mario 3D World I bought, and now like I make more money and it's easier to spend money when I want to, but early on, it was Game Pass has just been I feel like Game Pass, people before this year, people were like, yeah, you should, if you have an Xbox, it's a no-brainer to have Game Pass. But this was the first year where it's like, if you don't have Game Pass, you're an idiot.
Yeah.
Like you started seeing flashes of that with like when Gears 5 came out, and you're like, oh man, this is the future of Game Pass. Like first party releases on Game Pass. This is cool. But they weren't releasing 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 games first party, right? And then they did the cloud thing, and then they did the ultimate thing, and everything's just kind of like everything is working how it's supposed to be now with Xbox.
Yeah.
And like, God, dude, if you own an Xbox and don't have Game Pass, I don't know what you're doing. Like, it's seriously such a wonderful discovery tool, and I mean, it still gives you the option to buy the games to keep them, right? Like, I mean, it still does.
Well,
that.
some of the games leave the service. Like, they don't stay on the service for very long. So, obviously the first party titles stay on the service for a long time, but the third party stuff like will eventually leave.
Yeah, everything.
So, if you decide to keep it at some point, or you decide you want to just buy it, obviously because you want to keep playing it, you get an immediate discount. And I think that discount stays for a while. Like I think as long as you have the Game Pass subscription, you will always get 20 or 25% off of it, of that game.
And then usually if a game's oh, go ahead, Jesse.
I was just gonna say, there's definitely been a couple of games I've bought that left the service. So
yeah.
And usually if I'm like really into a game and I discovered it late and it's leaving soon and I want to continue playing it or just really like it, I will end up buying it. And a lot of people are like, well, how is Xbox selling more games if they have Game Pass? Well, this is how you get people to buy more games. Either A, you buy the game because it's leaving the service and you're really enjoying it, or B, you buy it because you want to support the developer more, or C, you tell your friends about it and they'll go buy it because they don't have Game Pass, or like they'll just be like maybe they're the people that don't play a lot of games but they want to play games with you, and you tell them about it and they'll go buy it. Right? That's the system.
Or D, you buy the $50 add-on bonus stuff.
Yeah.
You're more inclined to buy the DLC.
Yeah.
I guess in the end.
Yeah.
Like with Forza Horizon 5, how many people got that for free or got that with the Game Pass subscription and then just ended up buying the DLC, which I think people came out in record numbers.
Yeah. Yeah, because then you could get it, play it early and stuff like that, and a lot of people wanted to play that early. That was something people had been looking forward to. And then you had like amazing games like I Am Fish.
Shut up, Jesse.
Deer Simulator.
Shut up. But like I had said earlier, like honestly, Game Pass, standalone, you don't have Game Pass. This year was still amazing. They still released a lot of great games and a lot of great experiences. But Game Pass, like having that and getting so much of these great games that we got this year, like day one or soon after launch on Game Pass, has just like made this year, like in my opinion, one of the best in the Xbox history.
I'm gonna say Game Pass really saved Xbox's bacon this year.
Yeah.
This year they really showed why you should have this subscription service. They came out with a stellar amount of games. Not only just, these day one games that we talked about, but, even just like old catalog games that just, drop out of nowhere, like, hey, you remember this game? Well, now you can play it. It's on Game Pass. That maybe came out a few months ago or whatever. So,
here's Quake updated.
Here's Quake.
Yeah, here's
Did
all
anybody ask for this.
By the way, here's all the Bethesda games too. That happened this year.
And EA.
Yeah, and EA jumps into the fold too. So, that's really cool. Admittedly, and this isn't anybody's fault, but I think this year was probably one of the more lackluster years for AAA titles in recent memory. Like, we didn't get a lot of really good AAA titles that we come to expect. A lot of stuff came out kind of broken. A lot of stuff came out, needing fixing, needing constant updates and, continual updates. Just, so we saw a lot of really good, third party, not third party, but like indie titles. But even still, like, I don't think this year was as big as it probably was supposed to be, and I think a lot of it obviously has to do with kind of like COVID rocking everybody's worlds and changing development schedules and whatever. But like I said, I think Microsoft kind of doubling down on really getting a lot of people to subscribe to Game Pass. What are they at? 13 million?
No, they're at
subscribers right now.
30 million.
Yeah, 30 million. Yeah, that was it. Yeah, that's a lot of money in Microsoft's pocket. Like, we're talking between $10 to $15 per person.
Yeah,
that's an insane amount of money.
Even if it's just 10, right? Yeah. Even if it's just, if you're going the lowest, not honest. Obviously, people are getting deals and probably bought in for $1 at some point or whatever. But like average, like once this all levels out and people are actually paying for the subscription service and whatever. Let's take $10, right? At 30 million, that's $300 million a month, and that's what's that times 12? Like Three, like
I don't even want to know.
Yeah.
$3.6 billion a year.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, and like like MLB the Show coming onto Game Pass felt like a cold day in hell.
Yeah.
I mean, people were like,
An exclusive
that was
Sony studio.
so shocking.
Yeah, that really was.
Yeah,
really was.
There just was. They like Xbox this year just showed how much they are playing to be better and be the try to be the place that they want people to go.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I mean, ultimately, like I said, I think Xbox didn't have a stellar lineup of good AAA, good like must-have titles, with the exception of Horizon 5. I think that was their big one, in my eyes. Like there were other like real good like kind of AAA games to have come out to, say like you need a system for this, but like I think Horizon 5 was Microsoft's big AAA title that I think knocked everything out of the park. I'm really looking forward to next year. Next year is going to be real crazy. Like I'm kind of like afraid of my pocketbook next year. So
yeah,
and this goes for developers all across the board. Like what Nintendo's top 4 games this year were all remakes or remasters. Metroid Dread I think was the only real original game that they had. PlayStation I think the only real good original game that they had was besides Ratchet and Clank and Deathloop, but that was all they had really. So
yeah, which we'll be getting Deathloop on
next year
on Game Pass next year. So
yeah,
there's like that's the thing is there's so many things that are already previously made that are just waiting to go on Game Pass on top of whatever they're also working on. That's the thing. There's just I'm so ready. I can't wait to see what next year brings.
Yeah. Did you see the image they tweeted out for Game Pass? The future of Game Pass?
No.
God, I wish I could find it. This isn't it. I don't remember if it was Xbox or Xbox Game Pass who tweeted it out, but I'm trying to look for it right now. Maybe it
was it like the games that are coming next year? Or whatever?
It said 2022 and beyond. I wish I could find that image. It was so like informative and great. Maybe it was Xbox UK tweeted it out at some point. Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
I need to find this image because that image had like 40 games on it.
Well, like one other thing too, like I know you were mentioning like like we had some good indie titles and stuff like I think that Flynn Son of Crimson, like that was like one of those games where I didn't know that I wanted that game until I luckily it was on Game Pass and I could try it and then realize how good of a game that really was. And there was a couple of those this year where it was like normally I when I'm don't have a lot of extra money to spend, there's just certain things that I'd be like, yeah, it looks cool, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to afford it. And a lot of those kind of games that I normally wouldn't be able to really take a risk on, came to Game Pass. And I think, like that for me, that's what really helps that shine much. And like this year, there was a couple of really good games that I normally wouldn't be able to take the chance on that came to Game Pass. So
like
all right, that Anvil too.
I found it. So 2022 and beyond. Plague Tale Requiem, As Dusk Falls, Atomic Heart, which is that kind of Soviet Bioshocky looking game.
Oh yeah.
Avowed, Contraband, Deathloop, the Ayuden Chronicles, which is like
Contraband ain't coming out next year. Stop it.
It says 2022 and beyond.
That's a lie.
And these are in alphabetical order. Those two strategy kind of RPGs that are in the vein of Suikoden, Everwild, Fable, Forza Motorsport, Ghostwire Tokyo, which is another one that's coming soon. Hellblade 2, Hello Neighbor 2, Indiana Jones, Party Animals, Perfect Dark, Project Mara, which is Ninja Theory's other game, Redfall, Replaced, Scorn, Slime Rancher 2, oh boy, Sniper Elite 5, which I know a lot of people were making a big deal out of that one, Somerville, Stalker 2, thank God they removed those NFTs so people can...
Yep, no kidding.
Starfield, State of Decay 3, I can't read this, Twill Anacrusis. I don't know. I can't tell what it is. Elder Scrolls 6, Outer Worlds 2, Total War Warhammer 2, Trek to Yomi, and Weird West. So, I mean, I know a lot of those games aren't coming next year, but 2023 probably for Perfect Dark and maybe
I would say probably a good portion of those games will get pushed back to 2023, or like, you know, I think they were placeholdered for 2022, but yeah, like especially like Indiana Jones, I highly doubt that's coming out next year.
Yeah, I wonder when we'll see gameplay for Indiana Jones. Do you think that or Wolfenstein 3 are going to come first? Is going to come first?
I think Indiana Jones is going to come first. I don't think we're going to get a Wolfenstein for a while.
Well, they said they said 3's in development.
Yeah, but at what stage? You know, it's like maybe they got two teams working on it, but maybe they got more hands on deck with Indiana Jones.
Yeah. Plus, Machine Games is working on Quake apparently also. So plus, they've been updating that weird re-release on Game Pass. They just put a new mode in it, that Horde mode.
A Horde mode, yeah.
So,
which it's like, okay, I guess we wanted this.
Neat. But yeah, Game Pass.
But yeah, I guess with the lackluster year that we had, just to kind of put a nail in the coffin for me, what I think is, you know, it was a good year, but it wasn't great for Xbox. I'm more looking forward to the future of what they're going to be bringing, because especially with the Bethesda acquisition that they kind of fully set in stone this year and outlining the plan going forward. I think them outrightly saying Starfield is going to be exclusive and the next Elder Scrolls is going to be exclusive to our system. I'm just more so looking forward to what they're going to be bringing in the future.
Mm-hmm.
And I think 2022 is going to be the year of Xbox.
Yeah. I think for me, like the main reason I looked at this year as being like one of the best is it just like I feel like we're seeing a lot more people give respect where it's due to what Xbox is doing, and you know, there's still, even though Game Pass was, you know, undeniably great, there still was a lot of people who were, you know, just still trying to, you know, push it away as being nothing big, and, you know, it doesn't matter, you know, they don't have games, blah, blah, blah. But like, I feel like this year is where they finally, you know, like, not all of them came out this year, but, you know, like this year we got to see just how promising of a future, you know, that the new console, you know, people who own the new console have. And like, I'll be honest, you know, like there's games that I really want to get a PS5 here eventually, but I don't feel like I need one as badly. If I was, you know, given the choice where right now, you know, I had to decide which one I wanted to pick, and I hadn't had either up until now, I personally would pick the Xbox. Like, you know, like there are games that I want a PS5 for, but I feel like Xbox has more to offer for me personally. And that's the thing, like personally for me, I know that doesn't go for everyone, but I'm just saying personally for me, like I would be able to do without a PS5 moving forward right now.
Yeah.
Admittedly, there really isn't a good reason to own a new system right now. Nothing groundbreaking.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, even Halo and Forza are on Xbox One, so I mean, theoretically, you don't even need those either. But
I know there is a difference. Like I watched, I think GameSpot or something like that did a video on showcasing what Halo looks like in Xbox One versus Series X, and there isn't that much of a difference. I think the only real difference is frame rate and draw distance.
Yeah.
You know?
Well,
and texture pop in.
Yeah. Well, I mean, aside, like, if you want that visual experience, the Xbox One X actually runs Halo better than the Series S. If you want the fidelity mode.
Yeah. Right.
But if you want frame rate, obviously the Series S is way better. But I think it's still targeting 60 though, right? On One X.
No, I think it's only in 1080p.
Okay.
1080p, 60 frames a second.
Right, but I mean, it's still, you can still have that option on this One X.
Yeah, on the One X, yeah.
The only true 4K 120 is this Series X.
Yep.
It's weird because I've been playing a lot more of my Series S lately because it's in the office and I just am working and playing it. So.
Yeah, it's always easy. Yeah.
Well, guys, we did it.
We did it.
2021
Another episode
for Arsenal X is in the books. Big year for us too. Stoy joined the show.
Yeah.
I feel like we found a rhythm for this.
Yeah.
I feel like it's
going well.
Yeah. I like it. I
keep forgetting to tell you my last name is Jovic.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
No.
Pretty sure. I mean, that's what my parents kept calling me.
No, why didn't you correct me?
I kept forgetting. Where I was like, he said Jovic again. Correct him later.
Jovic. Okay.
God. Stoy.
I'm sorry.
Thanks for making me feel like an ass on the last episode of the year.
Hey, I wanted to tell you in private. I didn't want to tell you on the actual episode. I wanted to tell you like private one. You stopped recording, right?
Nope. Still alive.
Sorry.
You've got a New Year's resolution. Next year we will pronounce your last name right.
Everybody is gonna have to pronounce my full name.
Yeah. Stoy.
That's fine. Stoy's fine.
Forgive me for being a white American who just says it how it's spelled.
That's okay.
I don't like this. I don't like how I feel right now.
Oh my God, Jesus! you know how many people like this is such a common thing for me. I just don't like it.
Yeah. I know, but people
like,
say my last name.
Most of the time, I just let it happen. And it's just people will say like, "Oh, is your name Stow John?" I'm like, "Yeah, whatever. Yeah, sure, fine. I don't care." You know, it comes to a point where like, whatever. It doesn't. I'm not gonna die on that hill to like force you to say my name right. So don't feel bad, or feel bad. I don't care. Do what
I
you
do
want.
feel bad because people
then
say
feel
my.
Bad. Then you know what, Corey? You should feel bad. Feel bad.
I do.
Okay?
People say my last name wrong all the time, and you know.
Oh, poor Corey. Oh, how's that feel?
You hear? Well, it's funny because you hear about that all the time, like with athletes and stuff, and they just won't say anything just because they're so used to it, and it's just like, who cares?
Well, yeah, like Nikola Jokic, like everyone calls him Jokic. It's Jokic. It's Jokic. They say the J like a Y. They don't say the J like a J. Like it just bugs me every time. Like professional sportscasters say Nikola Jokic. Like say it right.
Well, I'm sorry for pronouncing your name wrong for what 20 weeks.
You should be Corey.
Now you gotta spell it out. You gotta write it on the chalkboard 100 times.
Anyways, I want to thank everybody for watching and or listening to Arsenal X this year. Thank you for hanging out with us. Thank you for dealing with some reboot/redoings and some what other word means reimagining,
Remastered,
if you will.
Remaster.
Yeah. Arsenal X Remastered.
Remake.
Next year we're going for the full remake. So it's been fun. I can't wait for 2022. I think we're going to have a good year next year. Not a good year, a great year. Stay tuned to our social medias at Boss Rush Network to find out more happening here. Jesse, where can we find you?
You can find me almost everywhere as Phantom NXS.
Jesse, I'm saying your name right. Right? Jesse Douglas. Nope. There's no secret pronunciation of your name.
No, it's Josiah Douglas. No, yeah, you're saying it right.
Stoy Jovich, where can I find you?
Well, besides following me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at EXPcast with my other podcast guys, you can follow me on Twitter at StoyMKE8.
You can find me at I am Corey HD on Twitter and Instagram. You can find me hosting the Boss Rush podcast every Wednesday night here on twitch.tv/Boss Rush Network or on Mondays on your podcast service. You can find us live here, by the way, Sunday nights live or on your podcast service every Tuesday. I do think we're going to start streaming to YouTube and Twitch at the same time next year. It's something we're discussing this week, but I think that would be a good idea to do that because we're not affiliated or whatever with anything. So
right.
I think we could do that. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. And until next year, we love you. Goodbye.
Hey, what do you call a ghost's boobies?
Ghost boobies.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Paranormal entities.
I hate you. Goodbye.
Bye, everyone.